Hi everyone, be sure to drop a follow on my Twitch for all of my live streams, and also be sure to join the Discord so you know when I go live next. Hi everyone, I'm Noctis Kyrios, and today we'll be reacting to some more collected Miscellany videos, and I'm super excited to see the next batch of videos, and honestly, I've been actually pretty much enjoying them, honestly. I've really been enjoying these videos, even though I may have not been saying much during the videos, or like might have been repeating sometimes. I actually really do like them. And anyways, in a little introduction about me, if you don't know who I am, I'm Noctis Kyrios. I've been a singer here on YouTube for about 6 years now, and I've also been a Punishing Gray Raven player for about 2.5 years now. So yeah, I'm super excited to dive into more of these Genshin Impact videos. So yeah, without further ado, let's go. Goro, forward unto victory. I'm sorry if I butchered his name. I can't remember how you pronounce it, but yeah, let's go.
In the vast and mysterious world of Teyvat, there are as many ways of life as there are people. Some heed the call of duty, others the call of freedom. Some follow their beliefs, others their talents. A few trust their instincts and rise to shoulder great responsibility. A prime example being General Goro of Watatsumi Island.
Goro,
Since you never know what the enemy might throw at you, the key to surviving the chaos of battle is
he's a
being
bow
able to
user.
adapt in the moment.
Hey, let's go.
Keep your weapon at the ready. You never know what's around the corner.
Goro has endured countless battles in his time, and this experience has taught him one important lesson. However strong you may be, war is never a one-man job. As a commander, Goro is constantly looking out for his troops, offering his protection and support, right alongside them on the front line. Goro has always loved the great outdoors. His keen sense of smell makes him an expert at tracking down resources. When Goro is in your party, the location of resources unique to Inazuma will appear on your minimap, making it easier to gather supplies.
Alright.
Goro's normal attack can combo up to 4 consecutive shots, dealing physical damage. With a charged attack, Goro executes a more precise aimed shot that deals increased damage. While aiming, stone crystals accumulate on the arrowhead. A fully charged arrow will deal geo damage. Tap Goro's elemental skill to employ Inuzaka all-round defense, dealing AoE geo damage, and erecting a general's war banner. Hold the skill to adjust the banner's position.
Okay.
The
That's
general's
interesting.
war banner provides buffs to active party members within its AoE. And the more geo characters in the party, the
So
stronger
he's
the
a
buffs.
support character. Okay.
If the party contains 1 geo character, the buff is Standing Firm, which increases the active character's defense. If there are 2 geo party members, the buff is Impregnable, increasing both defense and resistance to interruption. And if there are 3 geo party members, the buff is Crunch, which increases defense and resistance to interruption,
Okay.
also providing a geo damage bonus. Goro can only deploy a single general's war banner at any given time. Also, characters can only benefit from 1 general's war banner at a time. Any active buffs will be cleared shortly after the character leaves the banner's AoE.
Everyone on me!
Goro displays his general's valor, dealing AoE geo damage, and creating the General's Glory field to embolden his comrades. General's Glory provides the same buffs as the General's War Banner created by Goro's elemental skill. Various buffs are provided to the active character in the skill's AoE, based on the number of geo characters in the party. But this field moves with the active character. At regular intervals, a crystal collapse occurs, dealing AoE geo damage to 1 enemy within the field, and pulling an elemental shard from the crystallize reaction to the active character's location.
Alright.
When Goro uses his elemental burst, If there is a General's War banner on the field, it will be destroyed. Also, while General's Glory is in effect, using Goro's elemental skill will not create a General's War banner. After unlocking the talent Heedless of the Wind and Weather, all nearby party members receive a temporary defense boost after Goro uses Juga, Forward unto Victory. For the gifted to find their true calling, someone must first recognize their talent. Goro knows this well. He is eternally grateful and staunchly committed to Watatsumi Island's defense. After unlocking the talent A Favor Repaid, Goro's elemental skill damage, burst damage, and crystal collapse damage are all increased by an amount based on his defense. Goro's unique skill set provides excellent support to Geo party members. Deploying the General's War banner to establish an optimal formation before launching the offensive is the core of Goro's prowess as a general. When he joins forces with other Geo comrades, his General's War banner provides a diverse array of buffs, aiding the party both in offense and in defense. When his energy is full, unleash Goro's elemental burst to establish the General's Glory field, creating the perfect moment to attack and inspiring the whole party to press forward unto victory. Whether they seek it or not, those of exceptional ability and character tend to gain the trust of the masses. For Goro, this trust serves both as a confirmation of his abilities and motivation to hone them continuously. But the cost of being someone that everyone relies on is the burden of responsibility that it brings. Everything from helping the troops with their daily struggles to keeping Watatsumi Island safe and secure ultimately falls on Goro's shoulders. Time and fate treat such notions with contempt, which can make the burden unbearably heavy. If one day the world is turned upside down, will his instincts and determination alone provide him with enough strength to keep carrying the load he bears?
Who knows? Okay, that was alright. I won't lie, that was alright. I do like his concept of being a sort of cat boy type of character. I do like that concept for like a character. But I won't lie to you, Goro seems kind of mid IMO. I'll be completely honest, he seems kind of mid. Especially in terms of animation and like weapon design and like weapon user and like his element too. Like, why Geo? Seems kind of mid overall. IMO, like, his story is alright, and also, I feel like his character is alright. It's nothing too groundbreaking or, like, too interesting, IMO, in my opinion. But yeah, that's just me. Anyways, let's move on to the next trailer. Shenhe, Fluttering of Frosty Feathers. Let's go.
Although the paths through the lofty peaks of Jueyun Karst are arduous, there are always bright-eyed mortals who come seeking the adeptal path. For all their ambition, most mere mortals cannot fathom the way to the adepti, and return from their fruitless journeys disappointed. Yet those fortunate enough to encounter some hardship may suddenly find themselves being rescued by a divine young lady. Stunned by the elegance of their silver-haired savior, they hastily begin bowing excitedly in reverence and adulation, only to find their adeptus rescuer remain indifferent and leave without even a second glance.
I will do as you command.
Though Shenhe is often mistaken for an adeptus,
Shenhe,
she is
my
actually
bad.
a moorty,
Fuck. Why do we
albeit
keep
one
mispronouncing
who is an
names?
accomplished adepti disciple. Being naturally gifted and having learned polearm combat and various adeptal arts from her masters, exercising
I love
evil
her, dude.
spirits is a mere trifle to her. Under her master's tutelage, Shenhe trained diligently, producing impressive results. When Shenhe is dispatched on a 20-hour expedition in Liyue, she will obtain increased rewards. Shenhe's normal attack can combo up to
Okay.
5 strikes with her polearm, dealing physical damage. Shenhe's charged attack consumes a set amount of stamina to lunge forward, dealing damage to enemies in her path. When she casts Spring Spirit Summoning, Shenhe grants all nearby party members the Icy Quill effect,
Okay.
and deals cryo
I've
damage
also
in
noticed
different
that
ways
a
based on
lot
whether the
of
skill is tapped or
polearm
held.
users, their
When
charged
tapped,
attack is to literally
Shenhe
just
will rush forward with a
rush
talisman
forward
spirit,
with their
dealing cryo
polearm.
damage to enemies along her path. When
Oh,
held,
nice.
Shenhe commands the talisman spirit to deal AoE cryo damage to surrounding enemies. When party
Okay.
members are affected
That's
by
interesting.
Icy Quill, normal, charged, and plunging attacks, elemental skills, and elemental bursts that deal cryo damage to enemies deal increased damage based on Shenhe's current attack. The Icy Quill's effect will be cleared once its duration ends, or after being triggered a certain number of times. When the skill is held rather than tapped, the effect lasts longer and can be triggered more times. When a party member with the Icy Quill effect deals an instance of cryo damage to multiple enemies, the effect is triggered multiple times, according to the number of enemies hit. The number of times Icy Quill's effect is triggered is calculated separately for each party member. After unlocking the talent Spirit Communion Seal, when Shenhe casts Spring Spirit Summoning, she grants additional effects to all nearby party members. Tapping the skill increases their elemental skill and elemental burst damage, while holding the skill increases their normal, charged, and plunging attack damage.
Cryo Incarnate!
Oh, yeah, that looks
Shenhe
amazing.
unleashes the power of the Talisman Spirit, allowing it to roam free, dealing AoE cryo damage. The Talisman Spirit then creates a field, which decreases the cryo and physical resistance
Ooh,
of
I like
enemies
that
within,
animation.
and also deals periodic cryo damage to them. After unlocking the talent Deific Embrace, an active character within the AoE of Divine Maiden's Deliverance will gain a cryo damage bonus. Shenhe is fated to bear the curse of calamity. As cautioned by the Adepti, she is careful to avoid harming the innocent. But as for those with malicious intent, she's only too happy to put them in their place by giving them a taste of the Adepti arts. Shenhe's Spring Spirit Summoning is the core of her skill set, offering support to other cryo party members with the Icy Quill effect. In battle, proficient use of her elemental skills tap and hold effects allows Shenhe to shine by enhancing the party's attack capabilities. When energy is full, Shenhe unleashes her elemental burst, decreasing enemies' cryo and physical resistance, and creating the opportune moment to defeat the weakened enemies.
Alright.
Liyue Harbor is known as a bustling melting pot of a city, ready to welcome any and every lonely figure. But if Shenhe truly wishes to rejoin human society, there is much she will have to learn. Even I myself do not relish the solitary life I lead. When others are fortunate enough to meet a companion for their journey, I sincerely wish them the very best. After all, to this day, I hold that people should be authors of their own fate, both the crane ready to make peace with the past, and the beast with a grudge to bear have the freedom to make their journey home.
Okay. Also, this narrator. Why do I feel like he's a sort of chronicler? Like a sort of guy that chronicles everyone's adventures and stuff. Why do I get a strong feeling about that? Anyways, honestly, I like her. I love her animations, man. I also love her design too. Just peak design. Love the ice animation and like the ice talismans as well. Just love the design on those. And I also love the way she wields her polearm. She almost wields it like a sword, in a sense. Especially when she brings it back to her back as well. Like, that really gives me a vibe of wielding a sword. Like a katana or something. I like it. I'm also curious about that lore too. About the whole Adepti lore and stuff. But I'll get there when I get there in the main story of playing Genshin. So yeah, that's here nor there. But anyways, just great stuff. I love it. Let's move on to the next trailer. Yunjin, Showstopper. Let's go.
The people of Liyue have always been fond of Liyue opera. The reason? Only through these old tales from eons ago can they witness the legendary feats of the Adepti. But ever since the young Yunjin became director of the Yunhan Opera Troupe, not only has she excelled in classical Adepti-style opera, but she has also brought her own original stories to the stage, recounting tales of the common folk. It is often said that listening to Ms. Yun's new operas is like unwrapping a gift box. Anticipation followed by sheer delight.
Which opera shall we perform today?
Fans of Liyue opera all agree that Yunjin has boundless talent, performing admirably both on the stage and on the battlefield. When defending herself from the enemy, Yunjin deftly adapts the techniques of stage combat, turning defense into offense and putting on a show her enemies won't forget in a hurry. In order to satisfy her appetite, while maintaining a perfect figure and singing voice, Yunjin developed a certain knack for cooking. When Yunjin achieves perfect cooking on dishes with adventure-related effects, she has a certain chance to cook double the amount. Yunjin's normal attack can combo up to 5 strikes, dealing physical damage. Yunjin's charged attack consumes a set amount of stamina to lunge forward, dealing physical damage to enemies in her path.
Alright.
Tap her elemental skill, and Yunjin strikes from a cloud-grasping stance, dealing geo damage. When the skill is held, Yunjin adopts the opening flourish stance and charges up, forming a shield. The shield's damage absorption scales off Yunjin's max HP, and has increased effectiveness against all elemental and physical damage. When the skill is released, its duration ends, or when the shield breaks, Yunjin will unleash the charged energy as an attack, dealing geo damage. Based on the time spent charging, the attack will unleash at charge level 1 or charge level 2. After unlocking the talent True to Oneself, using Opening Flourish at the precise moment when Yunjin is attacked will unleash its level 2 charged form. Proficient use of these skills allows Yunjin to effectively fend off enemy attacks and strike back.
Nice.
Break a leg!
Unleashing Yunjin's elemental burst deals AoE geo damage and grants the Flying Cloud Flag formation to nearby party members. When characters with Flying Cloud Flag formation deal normal attack damage to enemies, they will deal bonus damage based on Yunjin's current defense. The effects of Flying Cloud Flag formation will be cleared after a set duration, or after being triggered a set number of times. When one normal attack hits multiple enemies, the effect is triggered multiple times according to the number of enemies hit. The number of times triggered is counted independently for each member of the party. After unlocking the talent Breaking Conventions, the normal attack damage bonus granted by Flying Cloud Flag formation is further increased. The more elemental types among your party members, the greater the increase. Unlike on the stage, there is no script to rely on in battle. But in Yunjin's mind, unexpected enemies serve as her best rehearsal partners, providing fresh inspiration with their unscripted attacks. In battle, Yunjin must make deft use of her elemental skill. She waits for the moment and counterattacks when the enemy is vulnerable to gain the upper hand. When her energy is full, Yunjin unleashes her elemental burst, granting nearby party members the Flying Cloud Flag formation, increasing her teammates' normal attack damage, and helping them to finish off their enemies. Compared to a lifetime, a single opera performance is short-lived. And against the vastness of history, mortal lives are like walk-on parts in a grand play, drops in a boundless ocean. However spellbinding the performance, the curtain call will come and the audience will leave. Perhaps this is why Yunjin incorporates the details of ordinary lives into her scripts.
Oh, wow, that's kind of smart.
Portraying the trials and tribulations of the common folk, alongside grand tales of gods and adepti. preserving their stories in operatic form to honor the human experience for generations to come. I happen to know a story about the heavenly principles and mortals, about cataclysm and peace, curse and devastation. If I were to share this story with Yunjin, I do wonder how her theatrical interpretation would turn out.
True. Not gonna lie, I won't lie. It was kind of middling for me. Although I do like her, it is kind of like blending together a little bit with the whole polearm thing and the whole geo thing as well. They're all kind of blending together for me. I like her character. I like that she's like an opera singer. I'm very interested in how she, performs and all that, and what story she's gonna incorporate into her plays and stuff about the common folk. But I'm also really curious about about what she contributes to the story as well. But yeah, overall, just kind of another mid trailer. Anyways, let's move on to the next trailer. Oh, hoyoverse rebrand. Yae Miko, the mocking of a Tenko. Let's go.
Yae Miko is a divine kitsune, as the Electro Archon's familiar and Guji of the Grand Narukami Shrine. Her dignified presence commands
familiar?
all respect.
Okay. Did not
But as
expect
chief
that.
editor of the Yae Publishing House, and a patron and participant of festivities, her crafty tone keeps you guessing. This leaves many uncertain of how to deal with the majestic but mystifying Miko. In reality, however, if you want to make Lady Guji smile, you needn't deliver an eloquent speech. You simply need to say these 4 magic words. Something amusing just happened.
Whatever would you do without me?
Oh, so a bit of a
In Yae
drama
Miko's
queen, huh?
eyes, shooing away pesky intruders is a tedious task that does not require her personal involvement. She can leave this to the kitsune spirits. Only when her curiosity is aroused will Yae Miko show her fabled fox form and summon lightning plummeting from above.
Okay.
It's said that those lucky enough to witness this spectacle never live to tell of the tale. With her age and experience, Yae Miko is one of the most learned in the land. Even if the spur-of-the-moment stories she enjoys telling make this hard to believe. When Yae Miko crafts character talent materials, there is a chance to obtain 1 extra random item of the same region.
Alright, nice.
This item has the same rarity as the material consumed. Yae Miko's normal attack performs up to 3 consecutive attacks, dealing electro damage. Her charged attack consumes a set amount of stamina and deals AoE electro damage after a short casting time. Tap her elemental skill, and Yae Miko moves swiftly, leaving behind a Seisho Sakura. While on the field, it periodically strikes one nearby enemy with lightning, dealing electro damage.
Okay, that's nice.
This skill has 3 charges, and a maximum of 3 Seisho Sakura can exist at one time.
Okay.
If another Seisho Sakura is nearby, its level is increased, meaning its lightning strikes deal more damage. Initially, Seisho Sakura are created at level 1, and the maximum level is 3. By strategically spacing the Seisho Sakura, Yae Miko can quickly create an ideal formation to increase their damage level and put her enemy in a difficult position. When the Guji of the shrine recites a blessing, thunder roars in response. After unlocking the talent Enlightened Blessing, Seisho Sakura damage is increased, based on Yae Miko's elemental mastery.
I'm always watching.
When Yae Miko unleashes her elemental burst, she summons a lightning strike, dealing AoE electro damage. When cast, Yae Miko unseals nearby Seisho Sakura, destroying their outer forms,
that animation was
transforming
cool.
them into Tenko Thunderbolts, dealing further AoE electro damage. For each Seisho Sakura destroyed in this way, 1 Tenko Thunderbolt strikes down. After unlocking the talent, the Shrine's Sacred Shade, when Yae Miko casts her elemental burst, Each Seisho Sakura destroyed resets the cooldown for one charge of her elemental skill. Don't let Yae Miko's graceful outward appearance fool you into thinking she is gracious in temperament, for that would be a fatal error.
Oh,
During
yeah?
battle, Yae Miko does not think twice before unleashing Seisho Sakura. She ensnares the enemy in a perilous position, dealing damage and creating opportunities for teammates to attack.
Hey, let's go.
When
Okay.
energy is full, Yae Miko unleashes her elemental burst, unsealing nearby Seisho Sakura, and summoning Tenko Thunderbolts to make sure these tiresome foes disappear for good.
Okay.
In storytelling skill, the writers of the Yae Publishing House are my superior. When I get talking, I tend to speak of true historical events. But under Chief Editor Yae's guidance, works of sheer fantasy thrive, accounting for the vast majority of popular light novels. Maybe in another few centuries, archaeologists will find books filled with pure fiction, mistake them for rare historical records, and draw all kinds of conclusions from them. Perhaps by then, the truth of the past will be consumed as entertaining fiction. Its only purpose, to meet people's need for novelty. Save for the sneering of the kitsune, all that will remain is the despairing sighs of the long forgotten.
Damn. That's rough, dude. That sounds rough, man. Anyways, I like that trailer. She seems really interesting. I like it. I'm actually interested in all the lore too, as well. Especially when he said I after the whole, what was it? Fuck. I don't know. Never mind. I like her animations. I'm actually surprised that they said she's familiar. I actually like it. Okay. I dig it. I also love her animations as well. They look great. And if she ever rolls around again, I'm definitely gonna pull her. Just good stuff, man. I love it. Anyways, let's move on to the next video. Kamisato Ayato. Reflection of the Moon and Flowers. Let's go.
Surrounding the epicenter of power is a tangled web of powerful factions, where vested interests and hidden agendas lurk beneath the surface.
Yeah,
For
let's
someone
go.
to not only rise to the top in this environment, but also maintain stability, they must be exceptionally shrewd and highly skilled. Anyone who hopes to meet the man at the top would be wise to first make sure that they know exactly whose side they're on.
Alright, let's go.
What's that? Join you for a walk? Why not?
Kamisato Ayato is the Yashiro commissioner. As heir to his clan, he has
Hey,
trained for this
let's
role
go.
all his life, including in the martial arts. His fighting style channels the power of Hydro through the forms of Kamisato art. A strong current hides beneath the tranquil surface, ready to overwhelm his foes like a flash flood. To the clan leader whose every
Okay.
meal is prepared for him by his staff, cooking is not a necessity, but a pastime. When Kamisato Ayato cooks a perfect dish, he has a chance to obtain a suspicious dish of the same kind.
Okay.
Kamisato Ayato's normal attack can combo up to 5 slashes, dealing physical damage. His charged attack consumes a set amount of stamina to charge forward and perform the EI technique, dealing physical damage. Tap his elemental
Alright.
skill to shift positions and enter the Takemiguri Kanka state. After this shift, a watery illusion forms in Ayato's original position. After forming, the watery illusion will explode if enemies are near or when its duration ends,
Okay.
dealing AoE hydro damage. While in the Takemiguri Kanka state,
That
Ayato
seems
unleashes
sick.
rapid Shunsuiken attacks,
Oh, yo, that looks
converting his
cool as
normal
hell,
attack
man.
damage into AoE hydro damage that cannot be overridden. After a Shinsuiken attack hits an enemy, Ayato receives the Namisen effect, which increases Shinsuiken attack damage based on his current max HP. The maximum number of Namisen stacks starts at 4. Stacks can be gained via Shinsuiken attacks once per set time period, and disappear when the Takemiguri Kanka state ends. Also,
Okay,
while in the
sick.
Takemiguri Kanka state, Ayato's resistance to interruption is increased, but he cannot perform charged or plunging attacks. After unlocking the talent Mineo Matoishi Kiyotaki, Ayato receives 2 Namisen stacks immediately after casting his elemental skill. And when the watery illusion explodes, Ayato gains a Namisen effect equivalent to the maximum number of stacks.
Kamisato Suiyu!
When Ayato unleashes his elemental burst, he unveils a garden of purity that
Hey,
silences
let's
the
go.
cacophony within. While this space exists, bloom water blades rain down continuously, attacking enemies within range and dealing hydro damage. The normal attack damage of characters within this space is also increased. Ripples on water destroy the immaculate face of the moon in its midst, but it regains its composure the moment after they pass. After unlocking the talent Michiyuku Hagetsu, when Ayato is not on the field, if his elemental energy is below a certain threshold, he continuously regains energy.
Okay.
Kamisato Ayato keeps a low profile and rarely shows his true talents, but when those lured into a false sense of security seek to move against him, he is only too happy to deal with them himself. The Shinsuiken is Ayato's main means of attack. During battle, Ayato coordinates with his teammates to produce hydro-based elemental reactions and take down groups of enemies with a barrage of Shinsuiken strikes to gain the upper hand. When energy is full, Ayato unleashes his elemental burst, unveiling a garden of purity, which increases party members' normal attack damage and sets the stage for further elemental reactions to flush out any final remnants. Many
Okay.
years ago, the Yashiro Commission faced upheaval for their transgressions. The Kamisato clan survives today because they found favor in the eyes of a god, but they bear an eternal obligation to be guardians of the divine. If you ask the head of the Kamisato clan what he truly holds sacred, I dare say the will of the gods would not be his answer. And so, though Kamisato Ayato appears to handle his affairs with consummate ease, when all is said and done, he is simply an ordinary soul caught between the divine and the mundane. If there comes a day when the instruction of the gods conflicts with that which he has sworn to protect, how then will he preserve his delicately maintained stability?
Alright. Okay. Okay, I like that trailer. I like that trailer. I won't lie. He seems pretty dope. His character seems pretty awesome, and honestly, loving his animations as well. His ult is pretty cool, and I love the way he wields his sword too. Just the way his skills function and like all this stuff, it seems really good, man. I love it. I love the unique mechanics that this character brings. I love it. Anyway, I also love the music in this trailer as well. Music was really good. Really helped to fit the theme of the character. Just great stuff all around, man. Anyways, let's move on to the next trailer. Yelan. Traceless Stealth. Let's go.
In the business of national security, the public eye poses many restrictions. While trouble brews in the shadows, it helps to bring in special talent. Someone who can move freely between different circles, covering their tracks as they go.
Yeah.
But be warned, this kind of collaboration could cost you, so make sure it's worth the price.
Who's our target this time?
Yelan is a master of the bow, whose hydrovision takes her abilities to new heights.
Oh,
Stronger
bow
and
user,
more daring
okay.
than most, she thrives in dangerous situations, leading her enemies slowly but surely into her trap. For Yelan, staying alert to new intel of all kinds is second nature. Wherever she goes, whatever she does, she always returns with a wealth of resources. When Yelan is dispatched on a 20-hour expedition in Liyue, she will obtain increased rewards.
Hey, okay.
Yelan's normal attack can combo up to 4 consecutive shots, dealing physical damage. Holding the attack button executes a more precise shot that deals increased damage, while aiming flowing water accumulates on the arrowhead. A fully charged
Okay.
arrow deals hydro damage on hit. After leaving combat for a short time, Yelan gains the breakthrough effect, which greatly decreases the charge time of her next aimed shot,
Oh,
and fires
okay.
a breakthrough barb at full charge. The breakthrough barb deals AoE hydro damage that scales based on Yelan's max HP. When she casts her elemental skill, Yelan moves rapidly using her lifeline, latching onto and marking enemies as she goes. Tapping and holding the
Alright.
skill produce different effects. When tapped, Yelan rapidly dashes forward a short distance. While held, Yelan remains in a rapid movement
Oh,
state
yo,
and
that
gains
looks
increased
sick.
resistance to interruption while in that state. During this time, Yelan can control the direction she sprints in and can cast the skill again to exit the rapid movement state. Using this skill,
Okay.
she can quickly approach groups of enemies while easily avoiding some of their attacks. Furthermore, it helps her explore the surrounding terrain more rapidly. When rapid movement ends, Lifeline will explode and deal hydro damage to marked enemies based on Yelan's max HP. Also, when Lifeline explodes, the number of enemies marked affects her chance to gain the breakthrough effect. The more enemies marked, the higher the chance to gain the effect.
Okay.
Game's up. Fun's over.
When Yelan unleashes her elemental burst, she deals AoE hydro damage to nearby enemies.
Yo,
and
that looks
creates an
amazing.
exquisite
I
throw
love that.
to assist in battle. Exquisite Throw follows the active character, and when they perform a normal attack, or Yelan's lifeline explodes and hits an enemy, Exquisite Throw will join in the attack, dealing hydro damage based on Yelan's max HP. After unlocking the talent
Okay.
Adapt with Ease, the active character's damage dealt gradually increases while Exquisite Throw is present. If the Elemental Burst is cast again while this effect is active, the effect will be cleared. Before the fun of guessing the enemy's next move begins, Yelan inspects her hand and tallies up her strengths. After unlocking the talent Turn Control, Yelan's max HP is increased. Based on the number of elemental types in the party,
Okay.
the more elemental types, the greater the increase. Wherever
Okay, that
there
seems
is
pretty
injury,
unique, I won't
Yelan
lie.
is in the background, quietly weaving her web. By the time her prey notices, it's already too late. In battle, Yelan likes to open with her breakthrough bar. Before using her elemental skill to approach nearby enemies, she ensnares her targets with lifeline, then lets it explode and deal damage. After the explosion, if she has the breakthrough effect, Yelan may follow up with another breakthrough bar to inflict further damage. When energy is full, Yelan unleashes her elemental burst to create an exquisite throw, providing hydro damage and a damage boost.
Okay,
So the
yo,
team
looks
can
sick.
round up the remaining foes. Fate is a cruel and perilous thing. It bodes only ill, lurking in dark places like the chasm. To me, that place is the epitome of human misfortune. People
Damn.
died there, far from their homes. People with hopes and dreams, dutiful to the bitter end. Different motivations resulted in the same tragic conclusion. People ought to fear disaster, unless they can learn to draw strength from their fear. Perhaps Yelan is just such a unique case. Undeterred by fate's cruel design, there is no path she will not go down in the pursuit of secrets. But what if, one day, she descends into a place from which there is no escape? I am curious, by which of her many sides would she see herself be remembered?
Damn. That is an intriguing question. I will not lie to you. That is an intriguing question. And honestly, I like that trailer. I really like that trailer. And I really like that character. I would definitely pull for Yelan. 100%. If she had a banner, I would definitely pull for her. Man, I loved her, like, animations too, man. Especially with that whole dice motif and stuff like that. I love that. And I'm super curious about, her gathering intelligence and stuff. And more of her lore as well. And yeah, just overall good stuff, man. I love it. Anyways, let's move on to the next trailer. Oh yes, I also forgot to add on more about Yelan. I also love her mechanic of her turning invisible as well, and the animation of her while she's invisible as well. I love that. Just great stuff, man. Anyways, yeah, let's move on to the next trailer. Alright, Kuki Shinobu, Dispelling Disaster. Let's go. Let's go.
You may be forgiven for wondering how an organization as chaotic as the Arataki Gang has managed to survive as long as it has, despite the near-daily conflict they stir up and frequent stints in jail. Somehow, the fallout of their antics is successfully contained time and again. Luckily for them, the Arataki Gang does have one member who actually has their head screwed on.
Don't tell me they did it again.
Kuki Shinobu doesn't go looking for trouble, but it always finds its way to her via the company she keeps. This gives her a wealth of experience in cleaning up after others. No matter how tricky things get, Shinobu is always able to help her friends out of a tight spot with the aid of her electrovision, deftly diffusing the situation every time. If there were qualifications for expedition expertise, Kuki Shinobu would likely be certified at the highest level. When Kuki Shinobu is dispatched on a 20-hour expedition in Inazuma, she will obtain increased rewards. Kuki Shinobu's normal attack can combo up to 4 strikes, dealing physical damage to enemies. Her charged attack consumes a certain amount of stamina to perform 2 swift strikes to the front, dealing physical damage.
Okay.
When she casts her elemental skill, Shinobu consumes some HP to create a ring of sanctification, dealing electro damage to surrounding enemies. The ring of sanctification follows the active character and periodically deals electro damage to nearby enemies,
Okay.
while also healing active characters nearby.
Oh, it heals
The healing
active
amount
characters
scales
too.
with
That's
Shinobu's
nice.
max HP. HP consumed by her elemental skill will not decrease her HP lower than a certain level. After unlocking the talent Breaking Free, when Kuki Shinobu's HP is low, she will gain an increased healing bonus.
Alright.
Though the Arataki Gang causes her no end of trouble, it's the one place Kuki Shinobu has the freedom to be herself. After unlocking the talent Heart's Repose, the healing effect and damage dealt by Sanctifying Ring will increase, based on Shinobu's elemental mastery.
Alright, let's go.
I'll settle this.
When Shinobu unleashes her elemental burst, she stabs her blade into the ground, creating a field that excoriates evil. This field deals continuous electro damage.
Okay, that's pretty
based
dope.
on Shinobu's max HP. When she casts her elemental burst, if Shinobu's HP is low, the field will last longer.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Kuki Shinobu is uncertain of the criteria for obtaining a vision, but that doesn't stop her from taking full advantage of its power. In combat, Shinobu supports her teammates by using her elemental skill to create a ring of sanctification. Besides healing nearby active characters, the ring also creates ideal conditions for elemental reactions, allowing her teammates to easily gain the upper hand. When energy is full, Shinobu unleashes her elemental burst, creating a cleansing field that deals continuous electro damage to enemies in its AoE, paving the way to a decisive victory. To most,
Okay.
the world provides boundless possibilities, and people are free to make their own choices as long as they are ready to accept the consequences. Fortunately, Kuki Shinobu is a talented individual, and the troubles stirred up by the Arataki Gang are a price worth paying for her freedom. To thank Kujo Sara for an introduction, Shinobu once treated her to drinks at Uyu Restaurant. I doubt that the Tenryou Commission General could have ever imagined a throwaway comment she made over drinks with her friend would end up ensuring the longevity of the Arataki gang, cementing their place as a thorn in her side for years to come.
Okay, her lore seems pretty cute. Yeah, her lore definitely is very cute. I won't lie. I like it. Also, I like her animations as well. It's pretty interesting that she deals more damage and he also heals more the lower her HP gets. It's actually super interesting. I'm gonna guess that she's like a sub DPS too. I'm just gonna assume, because it really seems like that she is like a sub DPS / hybrid support type of character. I also like her design too. I like it. Anyways, with that said, let's move on to the next trailer. Shikanoin Heizou, Hurricane Breakthrough. I'm sorry if I butchered that. It's so bad. I'm so sorry. I'm not good with these names, I'll be real. Anyways, let's go.
Technically speaking, the Tenryou Commission has no formal position called detective. However, formal or not, Doshin Shikanoin is indisputably the Commission's top sleuth. And every co-worker and criminal he has ever met has come to refer to him as that famous detective.
Alright.
Even the most rigid of rules will bend to accommodate extraordinary talent. And so the young prodigy detective's reputation only continues to grow.
I'm on the case.
Heizou prefers to avoid physical combat and prides himself on winning battles with his intellect. However, even he admits that sometimes the martial arts skills that his father made him learn are vital when defending himself in the pursuit of justice. Although cracking cases is a detective's core duty, Heizou believes his true calling lies in preventing would-be criminals from ever committing crimes in the first place. When Shikanoin Heizou is in the party, he reduces sprinting stamina consumption for your own party members, making exploration faster.
Okay.
Heizou's normal attack performs up to 5 strikes that deal anemo damage. His charged attack consumes a set amount of stamina to perform a sweeping kick, dealing anemo damage. Tap Heizou's elemental skill to wield the swift winds and launch a powerful strike that deals anemo damage. Holding the skill charges energy and allows Heizou to obtain up to 4 stacks of the declension effect, which increases the power of the next elemental skill.
Okay.
When the skill button is released, or the skill finishes charging, Heizou strikes forward, dealing anemo damage.
Okay.
When Heizou possesses 4 declension stacks, the conviction effect is produced, further increasing the damage and AoE of the next elemental skill. After unlocking the talent's paradoxical practice, Shikanoin Heizou will gain 1 declension stack when he triggers a swirl reaction on the field. This effect can only be gained once per short period. Strategic use of this effect allows Heizou to quickly gain declension stacks and increase the power of the elemental skill. Sharp investigative instincts enable Heizou to quickly pinpoint the motive and method behind a crime. His sheer brilliance means that many aspire to one day partner with him on a case. When the talent penetrative reasoning is unlocked, after Heizou's elemental skill hits an opponent, the elemental mastery of all other party members is increased for a limited time.
Alright.
Confess!
When Heizou unleashes his elemental burst, he leaps into the air.
Okay,
and
that
kicks
kick
the
looks
Fudo
kinda
style
awesome.
Vacuum slugger towards the enemy. The vacuum slugger explodes on hit, creating a wind tunnel that pulls in nearby objects and opponents and deals AoE anemo damage. When vacuum slugger hits enemies affected by hydro, pyro, cryo, or electro, it afflicts them with Windmuster Iris. Moments later, Windmuster Iris explodes and dissipates, dealing AoE damage of the corresponding elemental type.
Okay.
Vacuum Slugger can inflict a maximum of 4 enemies with the Windmuster Iris. A single enemy cannot be affected by irises of different elemental types at the same time. Though Shikanoin Heizou always chooses brains over brawn, he is nimble and well practiced in the martial arts of his clan. This, plus his keen sense of battle judgment, makes him more competent at close quarters combat than most imagine. In
Okay.
battle, the elemental skill is Heizou's main means of attack. A smart offensive allows him to rack up declension stacks and unleash a more powerful elemental skill. When energy is full, Heizou unleashes his elemental burst and uses the vacuum slugger to deal anemo damage. By effectively coordinating with his teammates, Heizou can afflict enemies with the Windbuster Iris, lowering their defenses while assisting his allies.
Alright.
For most detectives, finding the truth is the end goal of every case. Once the file is closed and the criminal brought to justice, the satisfied sleuth sits back and congratulates themselves on a job well done.
Alright.
But even a job well done is not enough for Heizou. Finding the truth is good, but finding a way to dissuade criminals in the first place is even better. If it were anyone else, I would laugh off their delusions of grandeur. Surely no single detective could hope to reduce crime through the sheer weight of their reputation. And yet, in the case of Shikanoin Heizou, I find myself entertaining a faint and uncharacteristic sense of optimism. With that said,
okay.
it is a pity that a detective of his caliber was unavailable to take on the case of the deicide of the god of contracts.
Oh. Yo. I wonder what that means. Anyways, pretty decent trailer, I will admit. Nothing too groundbreaking, but like, I like it. So he's like a sort of quote-unquote hand-to-hand fist user, martial arts user, and so to speak. I know he's like a catalyst user, but like, in essence, he does kind of basically just use hand-to-hand combat. So, pretty decent for a first foray into hand-to-hand combat. I like it. And interesting that he's a detective. Didn't expect that as a character, but I wonder what cases we'll explore with him. Anyways, yeah, just decent stuff all around. Anyways, let's move on to the next trailer. Alright, so here is the next and probably final trailer for this video today, and it's Tighnari, Lush Verdure. I'm sorry if I butchered that, but yeah, let's go.
Compared to ferocious beasts, it's hard to imagine placid plants ever posing a serious threat to humans. But deep within the sprawling forest where the vegetation grows unchecked, there is no telling what dangers may lurk within. So never underestimate the rainforest, for life is a formidable force. If you're hoping to pass through the Avidia forest without incident, you would be wise to heed the stern warnings of the Forest Watcher.
I'll lead the way.
Tighnari believes that the best thing to do with knowledge is to
Tighnari.
utilize
Fuck,
it
why do we
effectively
keep
in
butchering
everyday life.
names?
Applying his botanical
I'm so sorry
expertise
for
and the use
butchering
of
all
his
these names.
dendrovision has helped him to both advance his research and protect the rainforest's ecosystem. To be
Oh,
an
yeah,
effective
right, he is
forest
a
watcher
researcher.
requires a keen, observant pair of eyes. When Tighnari is in your party, the location of resources unique to Sumeru will appear on your minimap, making it easier to gather supplies. Tighnari's normal attack can combo up to 4 consecutive shots, dealing physical damage. With a charged attack, Tighnari executes a more precise, aimed shot that deals increased damage. The shot has different effects depending on how long the charging lasts.
Alright.
At charge level 1, Tighnari fires a dendro-infused arrow that deals dendro damage. At charge level 2, Tighnari fires a wreath arrow that deals dendro damage. After hitting its target, several cluster bloom arrows are generated that will auto-target nearby enemies and deal further dendro damage. When the talent Keen Sight is unlocked, after Tighnari fires a wreath arrow, his elemental mastery will be increased for a limited time. Tighnari's elemental skill throws a Vijnana Stormheart ahead of him that deals AoE dendro damage, and creates a Vijnana Khanda field, which summons strange illusions to taunt enemies and draw their fire.
Okay.
Also, Tighnari gains the Vijnana Suffusion effect that decreases the charging time of the next wreath arrow. This effect will dissipate once the duration ends, or after Tighnari has fired a certain number of wreath arrows.
I'll uproot you!
When Tighnari unleashes his elemental burst, he harnesses the power of germination and
Animation
fires
looks
6
pretty decent.
Tanglevine tendrils that automatically target enemies and deal dendro damage. After the Tanglevine tendrils hit their target, a second wave of tendrils is produced that also auto-target enemies and deal dendro damage. After studying the properties of a diverse range of plants, Tighnari gained a wealth of new insight into dendro-infused arrows. After unlocking the talent Scholarly Blade, for every point of elemental mastery Tighnari possesses, his charged attack and elemental burst damage are increased. Damage can only be increased up to a certain limit. Poorly prepared hikers and fierce monsters are constant troubles in the rainforest. An earnest, informative lecture is sufficient to deal with the former. But in the case of the latter, Tighnari shows no mercy. During battle, Tighnari first uses his elemental skill to create a Vijnana field to taunt enemies and obtain the Vijnana suffusion effect. From a safe vantage point, he can now quickly charge and fire wreath arrows to deal dendro damage to enemies. When energy is full, Tighnari unleashes his elemental burst, firing Tanglevine tendrils that pursue enemies. 2 waves of Tanglevines will home in on enemies to root out the problem at the source.
That seems pretty dope.
Even as I speak, strange events that I cannot comprehend are unfolding in Sumeru City. Fortunately for Tighnari, though he lacks knowledge of the full situation, his intuition has saved him from becoming entangled in it. In Tighnari's opinion, however profound and esoteric knowledge may be, it does not equal virtue. Elitism and deceit can lead to no good. Ironically, the academia sages who manage knowledge neither comprehend the true meaning of knowledge, nor understand the yearnings of the human heart. Though Tighnari has rejected them several times, still their pleas come time after time to his door. Let's see just where exactly the path of stubbornness and ignorance will lead them in the future.
Okay, a little bit of political tension in here. Okay, that's interesting to see and hear. I'm curious about the situation now in Sumeru. Okay, and overall, let's I like his effects. Tighnari, I actually like his effects. They're very nice. I think this is like the first Dendro or something actual character I've seen, and I actually like it. It's not too bad. I like it. I like his animations. Very, very reflective of the element. And yeah, just decent stuff all around. A good, pretty good introductory character to Sumeru. But yeah, just good stuff all around, and that's all I really have to say. So these trailers have been pretty great. The presentation has been pretty consistent so far. Anyways, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please drop a like on the video. And also, if you want to see more, please subscribe. And please let me know what you thought of the video down in the comments below. And remember to stay humble and be kind to people. And see you guys later.